Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside of GENIE, where we're going to look at the preview of today's racing at Turff and KENW. Please note that this video will consist of the first 3 races and race 10 from Turff, and then all the races from KENW. The Pick 6 races 4 to 9 will be a separate video. Unfortunately, that is not available for free today. So if you want to get access to that video, you can subscribe for the weekend. The cost is 150 Rand. And in the comments below, I will leave the telephone number or the WhatsApp number where you can WhatsApp. The moment that you make the payment for 150, you will then be WhatsApp those. I'll WhatsApp you that video, as well as our selections for today and tomorrow at Greyville. So let's start with the first race here in Gauteng at Turff. Just want to clarify how I work. The first number I give is my outright selection. That is the horse that I think that can win the race. The next 2 numbers are my outsider selections. That is the horse that outsider selections that I think can either place or win. And then I will touch on 1 or 2 horses per race. I can't do an in-depth analysis of every race in every horse in every race, but that is what we do in the video, that the other video where I will do a race by race analysis of each horse in that particular race. So that is a more fully analysis of the chances of each horse in every Pick 6 race. So here in race 1, let us have a look at the betting. Here we have a first timer from Mike de Kock, and that is the favorite and is currently at, let me just wait for this thing to open up. Florentine is currently at 6 to 10. I will tell you now why this horse is 6 to 10. Sweet Future 2 to 1. Oblige 10 to 1. Queen Anne Lace 20 to 1. 35 Women of Grace 40 to 1, and longer the rest. So let's have a look at at the first race at the favorite, number 9. Now you will see here the favorite is sorry, I'm now the second race already again. Number 9, Florentine, is by Ideal World out of Franny. Franny was a top racehorse, and she was exceptionally fast. She won a number of races. I'm not sure how many, but she was a top horse, and that is why this number 9, Florentine, is the favorite at 6 to 10 currently. Then, yeah, this is a bit of an open race. Well, there's a few first timers as well in this race, which makes it difficult. But my outsider selection is number 11, Oblige. Kumalo drawn 15. This horse debuted, ran second behind Karpa. Slow kept on 22.3 for 400 to finish, which is not bad. On any other day, this horse would have opened up favorite, but now, as I said, we're having this first timer here in the first race. Then we're having my second outsider is number 2, Making a Scene. Ferraris and drawn 13, so they closely drawn the 2 horses and the favorite. Give me the green light. Hasn't shown much, but this horse has done. They've raised this horse over distances, and here this horse was put in a nursery as a maiden. Didn't show, but I just got a feel Making a Scene can improve and run a place here. I don't say the horse can win here, but this is the kind of horse that you want to have into your play. That should it do arrive in the placings, it will make the quartet pay, because obviously a lot of people are going to bank a number 9 and looking to in the quartet to add on to the back end of the quartet. Number 3, Verona can also improve. Maybe if you want to, you can pop in number 5, Gilded Heart for 4th place. Yeah, and then maybe you're going to watch the breeding and watch the first timers. There's one or two first timers here that is not too badly bred. Stratum has got here a Diane Stinger. It doesn't ride often for a Diane Stinger, so obviously this horse must have shown something. It's also a flower alley. Queen Anne Lace didn't debut too well, but it's also a flower alley out of a forward with me, can improve, so maybe one for the back end of the quartets. Here's a flying the flag filly by Silvano. Yeah, Jason Gates on board. So all in all, a difficult race to find if should you looking for something to be the favorite or put in. Also, this Women of Grace can also be in play. You can also try this in your quartet. So let's move on to race number 2, which is a 11. It's also a maiden plate over 1160. And let's have a look at the betting. Here we have another field of a number of outsiders, and first timers. Here we have number 3, Al Qasim 7-2, Battle Force 4-1, C Veracid 9-2, Bold Jazz 7-1, Love Lies 8-1, Paisley Park 12-1, Moon Jumper 40-1, Harry Secret 16-1, Jeremiah Gold 16-1, Mikabishi 16-1, and 20 longer the rest. My advice for you would have been to stay away from these first 2 races. Maybe if you want to take the double, the cock double, that might be a nice thing to start off. Although my selection to win this race is number 7, Bold Jazz. He debuted 9 lengths behind the winner and still ran a reasonably time 400 to finish, and then run a 22.3 fastest 400 meters behind Bequest. Now, if you don't know it by now, Bequest has won again, so there was 5 runners out of this race, 1 winner. So I think both John, both Swan do have a strong chance. And then number 5, number 10, Love Lies, has also run second, and it's also in with a Prairie. Both his races were under 23, 400 to finish, which is quite nice. Now going a little bit further, and I think 10 Love Lies will be there when the photos are taken. Then my other outsider selection is number 5, which is Battle Force. Obviously, he also ran a nice race before. The last run, running second, can also be involved. All in all, this race is very open with a lot of first timers. I didn't even bother to try and give a selections for trifectas and quartets because it's just too open, too many horses, too many first timers that has got possible chances. So my advice is if you want to play the cock double, but I can tell you what, I'm so disappointed with the cock horses. I can't tell you where to begin, so I will just keep quiet about that. Then we go to race number 3, which is a maiden plate of 3-year-old fillies over 1,600 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. With the first, with the space market 22-10, Right Choice 3-1, Lucy Bell 7-2, Mirren 11-2, Ideal Jet 6-1, Dubai Magic 14-1, Fort Snow 16-1, and 33-1, and longer the rest. And let's have a look at the form here in race number 3. And race number 3, the form is as follows. Number 2, race 3, number 2 is my first selection. Lucy Bell, Aldo de Meyer for Alexander. Yeah, I see it's the first time that he's riding with him. This horse has shown a lot of improvement. Oratoria out of a defensive play me has run 4th behind Sudden Charm over 1,000, then over the 1,200 meters improved behind Miller's Princess, and then last time out ran 2nd over the 1450. And from draw 1, I think the 1,600 meters will suit this horse down to the ground. Then my outsider selections is number 4, Fort Snow. Fort Snow has improved last time to run 4th, and I think over the 1,600 meters, there's a elusive forward by Western Winter. Very well bred horse this to run, to improve, and can also be there when the photos are taken. My other outsider selection is number 11, Mirren. Mirren did run 3rd in her debut. Nothing wrong with that. Ululate has gone on to win another 2 races. So Mirren definitely in with a chance. Mambo Seattle by a far mare, slow, fast finish, 22.3, 400 to finish, fastest 400 to finish. definitely worth looking at. Then other horses that you want to look at, maybe is a Right Choice, was also second last time out, and overview behind the Bold Choice, Make a Penny challenged, and then yeah, I think definitely also in with a huge chance. Basadi 5 looks like she might be, of sorry, Naledi Basadi look like she might also need a longer distance, can maybe pop into the back end of your quartets. For you that is bold enough, maybe you want to try all to come for the cock to win the first three races, but that's just as a suggestion. I apologize. So now let's move on to race number 10. Quite a lot of nice racing today that what we can look forward to. I think I have, in the ninth race, I think I've got a nice outsider today. So here's the Citizen Java handicap over 2,400 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here the betting is Sworder Street 16 to 10, Barak 7 to 1, Factor 50 8 to 1, Odd Drop 8 to 1, Dawn Assault 12 to 1, Imperial Ruby 12 to 1, Sunshine Silk 12 to 1, Snow Palace 12 to 1, 14 to 1, Shenanigans 20 to 1, and longer the rest. Yeah, in this race, I'm going for experience and maturity, the older horses, and my first choice is number 3, Imperial Ruby. This horse is one of the most improved horses that I have seen for a long time. Um, this horse in March or November last year, this time, the race before this, and he can't show it, he ran off the track. And then he came out and he won his maiden over 2,000 meters like a champion with 4 lengths at 50 to 1, and then followed it up on the 2,400 um, 16 to 1. Then also won another race and then won a small future year on the 27th of June at Turff in the Gold Bell. And he was running on strongly in that race. And I'm looking for Craig Zaki to bring this horse again home today. I don't know what happened in the Gold Cup. Maybe, I don't know. I can't say. But I do think that this horse is much, much better than that form. And I'm looking for this horse that to be running on where the other horses will be stopping. Then my other outsider selection in this race is number um, 2 Factor 50. Um, as a matter, and my outright selection is number 2 Factor 50 with Imperial Ruby. My outsider selection, but I want to say that they are so close to each other. They have been running against each other. Like Imperial Ruby just beat Factor 50. Factor 50 finished in front of Imperial Ruby in the race behind Paths of Victory. But then again, Imperial Ruby finished in front of Factor 50 behind Dennis Blossom. So they're very close. So any one of the two, I think, can win this race. And then my outsider selection is number 11, which is before noon. Because if you see that in the form of Imperial Ruby, she did beat them before. But I also met in the Gold Cup where before noon finished in front of both of them. And also in the race behind Dennis Blossom, that was second. So before noon, I think also in with a realistic chance. But then they got this number 1, Dawn and Salt, always a horse that has proven himself, has 11 wins on the clock. This distance isn't a problem. Has had 2 wins on this distance, but drawn 13. But I think is battling to find his form. And then you got this young guns, Sworder Street, a 4-year-old, only had 4 runs, was beaten by Crown Towers today, and I'm not sure this horse is going to do the best distance, but we'll have to wait and see. That beat out of your league over 2,000 meters in September. So maybe this is a good horse. Time will tell today. Shenanigans is always a horse that can run on, can be a factor. So you want to include him in your quartet selections. Lyle Lewis on board, and has performed well over longer distances, and always a horse that can pop up unexpectedly. Fact is also I think he's got a bit of ability, although his form is not bright at the moment, but has had 3 wins over this distance, which is not bad. Course and distance, 3 runs, 2 wins. So Marco van Riensberg is always a guy who likes to surprise and can definitely, fact, can definitely win this race. Not out of it. Odd Drop is a 9-year-old still running like a 6-year-old and doesn't know when to stop. Also like the longer distances and can be involved in a finish. So all in all, a very open race. Barak disappointed badly last time. Everybody expected him to run nice, but he never performed, never came to the party. So now, but has got Penny on board to one of him the last time out that he won. So maybe that would assist him in a low weight of 52. I just want to see, I think the number of this horses is currently here. If I have a look, he's under sufferance here. So that's even worse because they are under sufferance already. So yeah, but then that is then the card for Turffontein. So if you want to have the pick 6 selections, contact me and I will, once you make payment, I will immediately give you access to the video and the selections. Here we have the KENW Race 1, a work riders maiden plate. I don't do work riders in Cape Town. I don't know the jockeys, and the work riders is not, and with the biggest respect, is not the same quality as the work riders here in Gauteng. So I will refrain from tipping on them. But for those who are interested in the betting, because here in Cape Town, the work riders often throw surprises. Their form is not consistent as in Joburg. So here we have Cloud Seeker, Even Money. I did what I did, 72, Shortcut 92, Real Advisor 92, 7 to 1, Double Agent 14 to 1. Happy Chappy and Stereotype. And I can tell you, even Happy Chappy has got a chance in this race. So let us go and look at the form here. Kenilworth race 2. This horse is 14 to 1, but I don't know the jockey, but this form isn't too bad. And I see with this horse going to the front every time, he might open up and go away and they can't catch him, but this is just a thought. This is just a thought. Race 2 is a maiden plate fillies and mares over 1,000 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here the betting is as follows. Lady Catherine 3 to 1, Flashlight 4 to 1, Karat 5 to 1, 5 to 1, Gaelic You Baby 7 to 1, Butterfly Gaelic Girl 12 to 1, Spicy Hot 14 to 1, Subtle Figure 16 to 1, After the Storm 20 to 1, and 25 to 1, and longer the rest. So let's have a look here at the form from Kenilworth and race 2. And here we have um, a 6-year-old mare who only had 4 runs in her lifetime. She debuted as a 5-year-old mare, has run 3 seconds and 1 unplaced run, now getting to 1.5. And I think Flashlight from Jeff Woodruff will have a huge chance in this race because, as you see here, 13 runs, 1 win, 11 runs, 2 wins. So she has run against some decent opposition. Here you can see sheer talent. Sheer talent won 3 races in a row. I do see she has a problem hanging in the bit, but I'm sure Jeff Woodruff would sort out that problem. So in race number 2, my outright winner, number 1, Flashlight. In my outsider selections, number 3, Gaelic Girl versus Ginterich by a Badgerland mare over 1,000 meters, getting a -2. This horse has improved, but also likes to go to the front. Sorry, and with the -2.5, that can be to his advantage. Corey Lensley is battling to get his first winner in Cape Town, but I'm sure one of these days the breakthrough will come and he will be standing in the number 1 box. Then we have here number 5, Butterfly. Also, Water Winter out of a Jet Master mare. Nice combination. Andrews on board. This horse shows a bit of improvement in the last 2 races and has been not running too badly. The second last time, 22.6 to finish, ran on from the rear. And I think would be running on today a nice inclusion into your quartet selections. In is the horse Kirat. I've been following this Kirat, and then when this ran here, 50 lengths behind. I couldn't believe my eyes. And then I went and I popped this horse back over 1,000 meters, put blinkers on board, and that has made a big difference. And he's run two hugely improved races. Today he's got Anton Marcus on board, so also in probably with a chance of winning this race. So let's move on to race number 3. Race number 3 is an online maiden plate over 1,400 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here the betting is Dirty Martini 22 to 10, Triple Jet 33 to 10, 4 to 1 Cormandel, 4 to 1 Tara IT, 5 to 1 Unbroken Promises, Crack It Open 16 to 1, Northern Tune 18 to 1, 45 Hamlet, and Scratchings number 4 and 9. So here number 3, race 3. My first selection is number 3 Triple Jet. It's a trippy out of a Jetmaster, me well bred, and some last time outran a nice race behind Alter Ego. And today it's got Greg Shane on board from draw 5, and I'm sure Triple Jet is going to run a huge race run a huge race. Number 1 also Dirty Martini also in with a chance. Did improve on the previous 2 races over the 1,400 meters on D'Urberville behind Kariba Hall. Late run gaining, King and the Milo riding. Yeah, can also be involved in the finish. My outsider selections, number 5, Crack It Open. This horse last time out ran at 22.6. The slow start, ran unwell. I watched the race. He was flying, was coming hand over fist. And I think Crack It Open can improve today to be involved in the finish and be there when the photos are taken. My other outsider selection is number 8, Cormando Savannah out of a Captain Elme. Wow, what a breeding. This shows some pace over the 1,600 meters. Anton Marcus on board today from draw 3 can also improve from that and be there when the camera is flashing. Tara IT, with Crawford Stable, Kurari by Silvano Me. That ran well, a reasonable race first time out, and then last time out behind Fort Agopian didn't do so well, but now getting the -2.5, and Fort Agopian did one last time out, and it looks like it was a strong field. 5 runners already, 2 winners. So Tara IT maybe pop into the back end of your quartets. Here we have race number 3. It's a merit rated 90 handicap, class B, average merit rating 90. Let's have a look at the betting. The betting is as follows. Number 7, Ashford Castle 22 to 10, Master Vargas 92, Aquabolt 92, Apollo Ice 11 to 2, Virtual Oyster 7 to 1, Albraga 15 to 2, Water Winter 12 to 1, and Dragon Power is 16 to 1. Yo, here we have a favorite number 7, Ashford Castle. Only had 2 runs. Last time ran against No Breeze in the future. Now getting back to Cape Town from a short rest, but running against a bunch of hard-knocking horses. It's not going to be easy, that I can tell you. My selection here is number 5, Apollo Ice, getting the -4. And Apollo Ice has been running well against the same opposition, Dragon Power is in this race, Master Vargas. Last time out, less than 2 lengths behind Pinkerton, which has won again. No, Pinkerton has won again after that. Stayed on 22.1, they had a 21.6. Always runs on. Now today with the -4, I'm sure it's going to make a huge difference. This horse will be flying at the end, coming at them. Then my outsider selection is number 3, Wiltshire Oyster. Only had 6 runs, 3 wins, and I think will improve on the last run. I don't know what went wrong there, but has also been there and thereabouts against Master Vargas, which has also got a huge chance in this race. And my outsider selection is number 8, Dragon Power, -2.5. This horse has also run against some of these horses. There you see Apollo Ice, now getting the -2.5, which he hasn't had for a long time, only carrying 54, and I'm sure Dragon Power will be there when the photos are taken. So let's move on to race number 5. Racing Association measured at 74 handicap over 1,000 meters. Let's have a look at the betting race 5. Race 5 betting Neville New 3 to 1, Cape of Storm 15-4, Winter Assembly 15-4, Fighter 13-2, Firework 13-2, 12-1, Miss Millstream, Lines of Power 12-1, Destruction Boy 18-1, Spy 22-1. Guys, this race has got upset written all over it. I can tell you that. Neville New followed up a maiden win with another win, but in a much lesser class now today, running in a 70 and a 70, and I think is running against some decent horses. And my selection in this race is number 6, Miss Millstream. Well, we see here Miss Millstream has run in a 71, a 73, a 64, 76. Last time ran against Capitavi, 22.6, wanted to finish, and I think this horse is improving. That win of maiden against Trippin the Stars. Unfortunately, Trippin the Stars is still a maiden, but I do feel that Miss Millstream today is going to run a huge race and will definitely be there when the voters are taking Louis Mokotwa on board. Then my outsider selections is number 5, Firewalker. Firewalker also getting the -1. Last time out, 2 runs back, one against Cape Storms, and I think today there's a Firewalker is always there, not far behind, and I'm looking for him to run a decent race again today. Then my other outsider selection is number 8, Destruction Boy, Jeff Woodruff. This horse is also a horse that likes to surprise when you expected the least to win, then it will win against like Cape of Storm, the ran behind Neville New, but now there's a turnaround in weights. Was also behind Firewalker there and thereabouts, and I think has run in like in the 75 years, 75 there. So Destruction Boy can surprise and be involved in the finish. Winter Assembly can also avoid Marshall Mbele. He's riding a lot of winners for Marshall, and he can also be involved in the finish. So all in all, a very open race, and I think this race has got upset written all over it. Race number 6 is a metal rated 85 handicap. Let's have a look at the betting. Lions Head 16-10, 28-10, Warden Song, Else My Daddy 3-1, Rock and Ringer 5-1, 14-1 Arctic Drift, 14-1 Peaceful Day, and 22-1 Check to Check. Now in this race, I really fancy this number 6 Liners Head, the Dynasty, well bred, Dam Ziga board by Trippy. This is a whole brother to Gabor. Last time out, I think, and I also made a mistake to back this horse that day. Well, not to back it, but I did recommend it. But with hindsight, they say hindsight is the exact science. But I do feel that the 1250 was too short because that's why today over the 1600 feet meters, I think this is going to be another kettle of fish. And I think looking at now, I think Lion's Head will be hard to beat. Was running on strongly over the 1250, but I think the 1250 just was that a little bit short for him, a short straight today with a longer straight. And I think Lion's Head will be hard to beat in this race. Outside the selection that you might want to look at is number 1, and that is Arctic Drift, getting a -2. This horse had the unfortunate experience of meeting Katak 4 times in a row, that managed to finish a second once and a fourth. But I think now, coming back after a short race against his own class, I think Arctic Drift has got the potential to be involved here in the finish. Also, Else My Daddy can improve with Anton Marcus on board, but I do believe that number 6 Lionel's Head will be too strong. Another horse that you can have a look at is number 7 Northern Song. Also looks like a decent sort. Might have some potential. Then let's have a look at the next race, which is the 7th race, a metal 72 handicap over 1600 meters. Here we have Star of the South. Why will this do that now? 22-10, Sylvanas So timer 28 to 10, 11 to 2, so lucky. Kariba all 11 to 2, Cyber Law 8 to 1, Lucky Dancer 12 to 1, 14 to 1, and better the rest. Here my first selection is number 4, Savannah's Timer, Savannah by the Mere TikTok by Captain L. Did win well last time out over the 1400 meters, and I think will even be more suited to the 1600 meters. And I think for Silvana's Timer to follow up on maiden win. Outside of selections in this race is number 6, Kariba Hall. Kariba Hall also broke a maiden last time, and Wiley Hall gelding. And I do think that this horse improving and will also be suited to the longer distance. Look for a great run. Number 7, Cyber Law, is a horse that's always there and thereabouts now today, getting the -2.5, and can be involved on his day, ran the length behind Katak, which is not a bad effort. Also, Lucky Dancer, so has run against some stiff opposition, can be involved in the finish. This is want to look at a favorite, which is number 2, Star of the South, also Dynasty by Varmeer, also well bred. Did won his second last race, but then disappointed behind Red Lark, battle to quicken, and therefore my choice still is Silvano's Timer, and maybe you can take a nice double Silvano's Timer with Lion's Head, and that will give you about a double of 8 to 1. So now let's move on to the last race, which is race number 8, a maiden plate over 1400 meters. And here the betting is as follows. Number 2, Karoo Winter 18 to 10, Rain in New Market 18 to 10, A Moment Apart 10 to 1, Zeta Jones 10 to 1, 14 to 1, and longer the rest. Yeah, here in the last race, my selection is number 9, Rain in New Market at King's Barnes by John, which is a Great Britain bred mare. This horse has had 2 runs behind Stuck on You and Mar Black, and I do feel today the 1400 meter will suit Justin Snape and Richard Furry from draw 4, and I'm really looking forward to see number 9, Rain Market, standing in the number 1 box. Outside the selections here, number 1, A Moment Apart. It's always a horse who tries his best, always there and thereabouts, can be involved in the finish. Here we've got the other favorite, Career Winter, also nicely bred. It's a Vichira by Western Winter Mare, drawn 6. Has also been running well and been placed, but I think number 9 in Rain in New Market, a stronger form. So that brings us to the end of this preview of Turffontein and Kenilworth, and I hope I could point you in the right direction for a few winners. And as I always say, break a leg.